The 2023 Motorsport UK British Rallycross Championship 5 Nations Trophy. It's round 8 at Pembrey in Wales, and time to go for the IRX Modified and the Suzuki Swift Sport Final. Jason Bleasdale on pole position on the left-hand side with Darren alongside. Then a trio of Suzuki Swifts with Max Weatherly, Chris O'Hara and Daryl Chafee. As the lights go green, it's Darren Bleasdale who sits in second place, but Jason Bleasdale who gets the whole shot from pole position and leads the way down through the first corner. Then we're followed by a trio of Suzuki Swifts with Chris O'Hara getting the jump on Max Weatherly for the lead in that category. Then third place overall as Darren Bleasdale kicks up a tyre bale there on the inside through past the Joker lap. So nobody going Joker on the opening lap of this one, as Chris O'Hara, who was second on the grid effectively in the Suzuki Swift battle, is now in the lead. And the question is, will he be able to hold that position when this race reaches its conclusion? Of course, a fairly pronounced gap between the IRX Modifieds and the Suzuki Swifts, just owing to the pace differential between the two cars. The IRX Modified cars, the Supermodfied cars as we know them, are fairly quicker than the Suzuki Swift Sports, but due to a slightly lower number of numbers, they've combined the two on the grid here. Darren Bleasdale then into the Joker at the start of lap 2. He's going to emerge quite comfortably ahead of the Suzuki Swifts, I would imagine, and indeed he does. There is Chris O'Hara with Max Weatherly breathing down his neck. Weatherly took the victory in the final here yesterday when we were running on the clockwise configuration of this Pembrey Circuit. Now we've done it in the opposite direction. We're on the anti-clockwise layout, and it's Chris O'Hara who is under pressure for the lead in the Suzuki Swift Sport category, with Weatherly trying to find his way through on the inside. No such problems though for Jason Bleasdale, and it looks like Chris O'Hara has just been able to build out a bit of daylight. If he does run it though a little bit wide like he did there a few too many times, it could cost him a bit more than a bit of time. It could cost him a place here too, as Jason Bleasdale comes out of the Joker and emerges quite comfortably in the race lead over his brother Darren. Looks like there was a bit of inter-team tactics here yesterday as well for the round 7 final. Darren Bleasdale, despite not having had the pace all weekend, was able to take the victory from his brother Jason, and if anything, looks like Jason slowed down after his Joker to allow Darren to go through into the lead and get as maximum points as possible. So interesting strategy going on between the two Bleasdale brothers, but either way, the roles reversed here for the final of round 6, round 8 overall of the championship. Meanwhile, here is Max Weatherly. No sign of Chris O'Hara in front, so you would assume that he's been able to get himself ahead of O'Hara then, or indeed if O'Hara has gone into his Joker and Weatherly hasn't done so, then that could be the difference between the two of them, and that could be why there is such a pronounced gap. See there the two Bleasdales now closing up onto the back of Daryl Chafee as they come through in towards this gravel section. Lovely conditions here at Pembrey, beautiful and sunny, which is more than can be said sometimes for being here in Wales. It looks like Chafee is going to be lapped here by the two Bleasdale brothers, who are trying to find their way through, but it's a really tricky part of the lap, and they use that as an opportunity to change positions here too. So it's now Darren Bleasdale that takes over at the front from Jason Bleasdale, and all of that chaos that ensued through the hairpin and on towards the back straight, that proved to be the case. So Chris O'Hara then into the Joker lap, but runs in a little bit wide onto the hairpin bend there, loses all of that momentum that he gained. It allows Max Weatherly to take over in the race lead. So Weatherly now it is that is in front in the Suzuki Swift Sport class as we go through on the final lap here, with Darren Bleasdale holding the advantage over his brother Jason. So again, maybe those inter-team tactics coming into play in the championship challenge. Either way, in the Suzuki Swift battle, it is now Max Weatherly who holds an advantage over Chris O'Hara as Darren Bleasdale comes through across the timing line to make it 2 wins in 2 finals from 2 events here at Pembrey. Darren Bleasdale ahead of Jason Bleasdale then in the IRX Modified category, and it is going to be Max Weatherly who looks like he's going to hold on and get the advantage over Chris O'Hara. They come down the back straight then. O'Hara's close, but he's not quite in touching distance to launch a move there, but slightly late on the brakes, and going wide is Max Weatherly on the inside. Here comes Chris O'Hara. 2 by 2 they go through the final couple of corners. Weatherly sticks his thumb up there to Chris O'Hara as he comes across the line to take the win in the Suzuki Swift Sport category ahead of O'Hara, with Daryl Chafee in 3rd place. So Bleasdale takes the win in the IRX Modified class. Max Weatherly takes the spoils once again in the Suzuki Swift Sport category. A fantastic battle to the finish between Weatherly and O'Hara.